Hello, Skaty G here. Today, I thought I would talk about some of the recent books that I've read. I've read some more fictional romance, and I've also read a nonfiction book, and I've also read some comics from the Tapas comic app. So, to start into that, I wanted to start with the nonfiction book that I read, and it is called Letters to a Young Athlete by Chris Bosch. And this book goes over the life lessons that Chris Bosch learned in his time with basketball and also afterwards, after he had retired from it after an injury. And I really enjoyed this book. I felt like I could relate a little bit to the life principles and how life feels sometimes, and I felt like it had some good advice as well for it. And yeah, I really enjoyed this, and yes, it does talk about basketball a lot, and I don't know much about basketball, but I still found that I could understand the principles that were in it despite that, and I really enjoyed the perspective of it. I also did read some Emily Henry and Mahari McFarlane books as well. I've heard a lot of hype about that, so I decided to go try it out. And I found they weren't quite my cup of tea. One that I did like a little bit was Happy Place by Emily Henry. And that one is about a girl and her ex-fiance who get stuck together on a vacation. And the biggest thing is they were together, but they never told anybody that they broke up. And so no one knows. They still think they're together. And so they try to live this kind of fantasy that they're still together and that, but obviously they get found out. The friends kind of guess it, and there's a lot of drama and a lot of growing up that the characters have to do, which was kind of surprising, truthfully, for me as a reader. Kind of how these characters acted a little bit. But overall, it was a pretty good book, and I laughed at some parts, and other parts are just really dramatic. And the next things I've been reading are some comics in the Tapas comic app, and most of the comics in the Tapas app are wrote and illustrated by Asians, and so I have been enjoying the different perspective that they have and the different outlook on life. And there's a lot of ones I'm reading, and it kind of goes by seasons, so it kind of takes longer to read them because they're seasons put all together. But one that I did finish recently that I did enjoy was Demon Queen Wants to Have Peace and Retire, and that one I really enjoyed. It was like basically the Demon Queen, this girl kind of gets isekai'd into this other place, and I can't remember if it was a story that she had read. I think it was a story she had read. And she gets isekai'd to the Demon Queen of that place, and she meets the warrior of the other kingdom and decides to convince him to go do a peace treaty and to kind of change the storyline because she already knew the original and kind of how it happened, so this was kind of changing it. And so her and the warrior go on an adventure all the way to his kingdom to go meet with the people there, sign a peace treaty, come all the way back. There's, of course, someone who doesn't want that peace treaty to happen, who wants war and different things like that, but their plans do not work out, and our characters are a lot smarter about it and teach the bad guy a lesson about enjoying life and that. And then in the end, the warrior and the demon girl fall in love, and of course they end up being together as a couple in the end, and the people of the demon kingdom and of the human kingdom are able to actually cross borders and be with other cultures and that. And so I really enjoyed that one. The romance in it was pretty sweet, and it was nicely paced, and it had some action parts in there, but it also just told a really nice story with it, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's what I have been reading, and let me know down in the comments below what you've been reading, and we'll see you in the next one.